Hello everyone, Partyfoot back with a replay of Mechabellum this time. Been a little bit, I did a kind of different style for a bit, but I don't know, decided to mix it up. This was a kind of fun game that I just played, so this was, yeah, I was just playing some Mechabellum, been doing so again lately. I love the quick supply specialist suddenly, so I went for tanks and then more tanks, and then I decided to sell out of the turret, but I think I reversed the decision because I was like, actually this turret is probably going to be the less relevant one. Getting stuff caught on these slows and then shot down is pretty nice, so we're going to set up over here, and our opponent has the same idea, and I guess like experience in Mechabellum probably tells you that like other people are probably going to have the same idea and that this may be a headbutt so that you are prepared for that, but I was not thinking about that at all. I was like, cool, I'm going to set up over here, like this is my strategy. You know, I probably didn't even look at what the enemy had, of course. It's my kind of general style. So hopefully this is this is a pretty strong start for us with the extra money. Getting loads and loads of tanks, but I remember just being like, whoa, we're in a headbutt. I didn't expect this. And then I was thinking, oh no, everything on my side is gone, that sucks. And then I suddenly realized, except all the fangs. So, yeah, okay. Not going too badly. Not going too badly. In the first round. I mean, it shouldn't. It shouldn't with quick supply specialists. Not getting the most out of the speed spec, but like, things get on target quicker, so it is still just generally good, right? It's better than something that's situational or whatever. Yeah. The strikes in this game are going to be interesting. I wanted to try Strike Hound, because I thought maybe I could put Hounds as like the DPS to kill these Fire Badgers. I don't know why. I didn't actually look at the math. I don't know why I thought that. I've never got the Strike Hound one before, but basically my logic was, we're in a headbutt, that this is going to front load their damage. They're going to one-shot stuff. This is so much attack damage that they can probably hurt things that I want to die. Question mark. Charge shot out of the Void Eyes. That's going to definitely be sad for our tanks, just in general. We've got flanking action coming in out of the crawlers. I believe, yes, I've started defending this tower already as well, so our shield goes down instantly, and theirs is holding on. We better get it. Okay, we do. That would have been probably quite a game changer if that whole turret had survived. That whole shield had survived. The lone saber making its final stand. Cool tank. I like sabers. I like sabers a lot, especially. I really like the new edition of their siege mode. So here I was like, maybe some marksmen. Ended up, I think, picking the Phoenix. It's like I'm weary of spoiling my own video, even though, you know, what is this? It's just a presentation of this hopefully cool game. Elite arc lights with the shockwave AoE ability. So that's pretty nice anti-chaff. We decided to put some hounds to deal with this. And, you know, more fangs. More fangs might be a theme. Might be a theme later, so let's, yeah, I'm basically, think Astra Militarum is what I'm thinking. I don't know the hounds really particularly count. But I don't know. It's pretty Warhammer to have some sort of like just gun body. You know, you exist to blow stuff up, and like, you know, there's just no, there's no cabin space. There's no, and presumably it's completely ruthless and like autonomous. So well, I don't know. I guess 40k doesn't like the autonomy robots. Hounds are actually pretty cool. Right, let's pay attention to the game. Cool. The headbutt continues. This time, we have these phoenixes. The flank gets cleaned up pretty easily, but the tanks are getting hit by void eyes and everything's gone. These guys have a tall order. Immediately vaporized. But he has no anti-air, so hooray, we win by default. Strategic victory. Uno reverso. Sorry, draw 4 cards. Eventually, eventually. My superiority, in this instance, comes with a little bit of a slow burn, as these Phoenix, work their way through all these targets. I think I do have the ability to speed this up. And yeah, well, I was happy to have picked the Phoenix. Kind of just lucky, and you don't really get too much damage, but it does stem a little bit of the bleeding. Or potential bleeding. The nuke came up. In this situation, it was like, long term? Okay, we both went for it, but I was like, he could easily nuke me, right? We're both just flat up against each other. Put down some shields. More tanks. Now, I think these tanks probably came... Then I realized I put that arc light in the worst possible place. The tanks came in. I wanted the tanks. You see? I wanted the tanks. The problem that I was really having was chaff. And I stretched for 1 arc light, maybe. But really, I probably needed to go for some arc lights. Maybe. This chaff is getting immediately out in front and getting, soaking all the fire from this initial few seconds of the headbutt from our sabers, which is pretty sad. Sledgehammers, I don't know, they just kind of alpha, like a couple of them, and then sit there going like, I'm waiting for my next shot. I'm reloading! I'm reloading! And then, as the chaff continues to advance unhindered. But we do get through basically everything, and our sabers are now like chewing on things where the hits actually matter, so, it's not miles off. He does have marksman now to take out these Phoenixes, though. One more shot. Get it! Yes! I guess we probably lose here. Yeah, level 2 Void Eyes. Can we get one more for EXP? No. Really? Come on, just work at it. Target priorities, guys. A few more? No. Okay, well, close. Not too much damage. So, starting out nice and slow, even though this is a ruthless headbutt. Yes, always money. I like the unit drops when they're reasonable. If they're too overpowered, I feel like... Because I'm stubborn. I just want to do what I actually want to do. So, some random element comes in and I'm like, the symmetry is destroyed. I mean, I'm sitting here with hounds, so, But, so I go for entrenchment here. I was thinking, we're obviously going to be in range for basically the whole fight. Entrenchment reduces their attack interval, so basically increases their DPS and gives them a lot more health, which they should actually use a little bit in this circumstance, hopefully. We put down a missile to try and catch some crawlers, and our opponent goes for a Farseer flank, which is powerful. Now we've finally backed up with some arc lights that will actually clear all this chaff, hopefully. Yeah, sledges maybe in a line formation rather than a horizontal formation could have cleared the chaff a bit better. I think they do clear chaff better in a line. Because right now I think they just all alpha and it goes boom and it kills like 4 of them. Whereas if they're in a line it goes like boom, 2, boom, 2, boom, 2, boom, 2. So like, better. My shields go down so quickly though. All these Void Eyes, like, just basically eventually getting through. Well, eventually in pretty quick order, actually. So this guy's on our tower, but look at this. Sometimes it is worth leaving those things up, because that's a nice little flank protection. Taking out a 200 cost unit. So we did have 1 level, but that was still devastating. Luckily we had pretty much cleared his main army by the time he got in through that little bit of extra health there. Ooh yeah, this is what we're made for. The big damage with the debuff on the target. Ah, yes. Another nuke additional slot, and I was also like, okay, well, maybe this time I should have picked it because like we're into the game enough that we could start swinging for some tempo and win in like 2 rounds, right, or 2-3 rounds. But then we both were like, no, we deploy more stuff. Now, I was like, immediately, that means lots of fangs, though. That means lots and lots of fangs. Our opponent was like still thinking strategically, thinking like, what should I do next? Should I, could I potentially get a different type of unit to deal with these guys? Do I need any new tech? I'm just like, alright, so we've got four deployments, so we're doing fangs and we're doing fang range. And we're going to be doing lots more fangs. We've already got entrenched tanks, it's all you need. Fangs, entrenched tanks, it's like, okay, what are they going to do? Get some wraiths? My 2 phoenixes will deal with any amount of wraiths. So, that's, hubris, but still. A little bit more on this flank, but we are leveling this tower to counteract it. Actually, I'm kind of thinking about the idea of, like, this is kind of expensive to level it up, of course. But if you fully level this and people... it basically negates the tower. It basically means you don't have to care about that. So you can concentrate your entire force in an area like this. Make a lot of use of shields, potentially. It does make you more vulnerable to spells, but people are picking spells less these days, it feels like. We both did it. And then, on top of that, many of them got nerfed, like they're not 2 turns anymore, and stuff like that for a lot of those powers, which is good, because those sucked. But yeah, it might play a little bit more into... And then, eventually, it's like you start investing quite a lot over here, but it just doesn't do anything. And even when it does do something, it still doesn't do anything, You know what I mean? Boom. Okay, so we've got a bunch of Stormcallers coming in with electromagnetic explosion. That seems to have been a pretty big shock to my force, as, usually a huge recruitment of Stormcallers does. This is actually a pretty cool move. And he's got an anti-missile device there too. I was inspired by this, I think. Orbital bombardment. This is a nice compromise now, I think. Maybe he anticipates that I'm going to use shields every time. Leveling the fangs. Balls coming in on the flank. Anti-missile on the sabers. Sabers are so good! And then another anti-missile device. I think this survives till the end of the game. Spoilers, whether I win or lose. More fangs. Oh my gosh, we could actually recruit 5 fangs a turn. 5 fangs a turn is, like, diabolical. And our opponent's like, yeah, let's go for some crawlers, go for some flanking action. He's thinking strategically, he's trying to, like, yeah, what are my options? Like, I can do all this different stuff. He's going to invest more into those crawlers, which is good. I love some crawler play, actually. I'm kind of into it. He probably needs maybe a few more balls and some investment in balls. Balls go well with crawlers. I don't know. I don't know how to play crawler. I don't know if I've made it. Maybe I should start trying. I need something like this game though, where you have just so many fangs. Now with range. And the missile strike is coming in, devastating everything as it tends to do. Loads of Stormcrawlers dying to those missiles. I swear, it must be biased, right? I think it must have like a hit chance, and then it just chooses a unit and hits them based on some sort of hit chance. So we definitely looks like we've run this round. Look at this. Fall before my wrath. This is like the Attack of the Clones, dusty CIS versus clone battle scene. Actually, hey, put some legs on that boy, and we're actually talking. All right, level 4 Wasp is actually kind of interesting, but I was just like, I know what I'm doing. I'm leveling fangs. I'm getting fang techs. I'm building fangs. Look, this is an opportunity. You don't get 2 additional deployment slots and a game where you have enough health to fool around very often. And, admittedly, this probably would be quite counterable with certain things. I mean, maybe some, like, Vulcans with those pesky incendiary missiles, for example. Although we do already have anti-missile. I don't know, in my experience, you literally can't stop those fire missiles. They'll just devastate you no matter what. Shields is like the way. I mean, shields you have to use. In a fight like this, probably it's actually harder, because I can put shields down for that whole first volley. And then, by the end of the first uptime, you'd... Well, fangs are DPS units. They don't do burst damage, they kind of win by attrition. The missile coming in. The double shield, of course. Yeah, missile interceptors still going. Our entrenched tanks shooting missiles down, soaking loads of fire, DPSing with the big guns. Our opponent goes for the level 4 wasps. Warping them in, like, I guess they didn't know that I was going to put down so many fangs on this side, but oh, that's a lot of juicy experience for my fangs. They got one shot off. Well, my plus 300 makes me feel pretty good then. They do get the tower on this side, but I think it's level 4 now. Anti-missile going in. I mean, it's a back and forth massacre, honestly. At what cost is what I'm asking myself right now. Looking at my own forces that are both devastating, but also being devastated. This is look at the wreckage line on both sides. Can we get like infinitely persisting corpses? I don't know. That would probably be way too crazy. Actually, that would be cool though. Like if you optimized it a little bit so that it wasn't like way too insane. But then imagine you were crawling over like piles of debris to get into the fight. You could even have debris mechanics where the debris like piled into like almost like lanes and started like having to shift the fight. I don't know. It would have to like grow from certain points so that you could like slightly predict it and not just get your your whole flank destroyed because of random neutral thing happened. Okay, now we get shields. Portable shield, and then how cool would it be? Like just annihilate each other in the wreckage. Shields should be pretty good, to be honest. All these rocket launcher guys can no longer one-shot fangs. I mean, they fire 2 missiles each, 4 missiles each, so... but... more fangs. Look at how many fangs we have. This is what I'm talking about. Leveling the fangs, getting more fangs, fang techs. Now, a critical component of my gameplay that I failed here is not getting this upgrade. Look at this. The reinforcing backline of fangs taking in the crawlers. Now we've got a huge force on this side as well to take down everyone. They're just wasting their time on this useless tower. Which is level 4 and pretty much doesn't mind if you do take it down. The missiles are thick and fast though. We don't have any interception happening yet. We've still got plenty of fangs coming in. Yeah. I mean, again, the losses have been atrocious. This is what I'm talking about. A pile of bodies. Oh! And we push him just over the line. Wow. That was a good game. He did go for the Vulcans in the last round, and he did have the incendiary bombs. I can see why he was like had to make that choice though, because range is also pretty good against fangs because 135, 130. So, you know, in a late game situation where like a huge blob of fangs is coming towards the Vulcan will just murder all of them, right? I did get the extra range too, and he didn't, so he could get even more. Probably should have rapid resupplied. Maybe he was feeling confident, like that he was going to turn it around with these Vulcans. I mean, this is a lot of fangs. It's a lot of fangs. Oh, yes. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Mass Fang is fun. Mechabellum is fun. This has been Partyfoot, signing out.